Chosen one, can you feel it? The air's different. The time feels heavy, as if something unseen is about to shift. This is not just another day. Today, September 30th, is the portal of the last day of the month. A spiritual threshold has opened before you, separating what no longer belongs from what is about to be born. Heaven is asking, will you step into October, still carrying the weight of September? Or will you cross this portal, leaving behind everything that does not serve you anymore? Because this is the moment when destinies are realigned, when old cycles are sealed, and when new paths are released. And I ask you, are you ready to cross with awareness? Or will you risk missing what is already being poured out in this very moment? Stay with me until the end, because today you will understand why the portal of September 30th is so decisive, and how crossing it the right way can change your entire next month. Chosen one, heaven speaks through cycles. Nothing in creation is random. The rising and setting of the sun, the phases of the moon, the turning of the season, all of them carry hidden codes and messages that point to divine movement. The last day of a month is not just a date on a calendar, but a spiritual portal, a crossing point between what has already been and what is yet to come. And this September the 30th carries a unique weight. It seals a month marked by signs and celestial alignments, and it prepares the ground for what October will release. September has not been ordinary. It has been filled with activations, with pressure, with strange signs in the body, mind, and spirit of the chosen. You may have felt fatigue you could not explain, dreams that were too vivid to ignore, emotions surfacing that you thought had long been buried. All of this was the work of heaven, recalibrating you, shifting your inner structure, preparing you for what is ahead. Now that this month reaches its end, you stand at the threshold of a spiritual mystery, the portal of the last day. The last day of a cycle is never passive. It is not simply a page turning on the calendar, it is a call. It is heaven asking you to stop, to discern, to acknowledge where you are and what you are carrying, because no one crosses into the new month without bringing something with them. The question is, are you bringing baggage from the old cycle, or are you stepping in aligned with the new frequency? This is the mystery of September 30th. It is not only an ending, it is a test. Will you release what no longer belongs, or will you insist on dragging it forward? The portal does not respond to passivity, it responds to awareness. That is why you may feel a heightened intensity today. The body is restless, the atmosphere feels charged, emotions surface unexpectedly. These are not accidents, they are indicators that the portal is open and asking for a decision. And I ask you, have you been treating this day as ordinary, or have you recognized the weight it carries? Have you taken the time to reflect on what this month has brought to the surface, or have you hurried through it, hoping October will simply feel lighter? Because the truth is, the way you cross September 30th will determine the atmosphere you carry into October. The last day of a month acts like a mirror. It reflects back to you the unresolved issues of the cycle. That is why certain memories resurface, why unfinished business seems to press on you, why old emotions rise once again. It is the portal demanding closure. The spiritual world does not allow new doors to open while old ones remain unlocked. You are being asked today to close what must be closed. This is not superstition. It is divine design. All of creation functions in patterns and rhythms. Heaven operates through seasons and appointed times. September the 30th is one of those appointed times, a seal on the month and a preparation for the one to come. If you cross this day intentionally, you will step into October lighter, freer, more aligned. If you cross carelessly, you will drag the unresolved weight with you, and it will slow your steps in the days ahead. Chosen one, the mystery of this day is simple yet profound. It is the final chance to let go, the final chance to declare that September's lessons are complete, the final chance to surrender what cannot enter October with you. This is why the portal feels so heavy. It is both an ending and a beginning, both a closing and an opening. Do not waste this moment. September 30th is not a date. It is a key, and today that key is in your hands. Chosen one, to understand the weight of September 30th, you must first grasp the mystery of heaven, closing a cycle. Nothing in the divine order happens without purpose. Heaven does not leave things unfinished. Every cycle has an appointed beginning, an appointed middle, and an appointed end. And when the end comes, it is not an accident. It is a decree. September 30th is not just a date. It is the signature of heaven declaring, this season is complete. Cycles are classrooms. Each one teaches what no other can. Some cycles are brief, others stretch long. But every one of them holds lessons, alignments, and shaping. September has been one of those intense classrooms. It revealed hidden truths, stirred buried emotions, pressed the chosen through trials that seemed unrelenting. But it also recalibrated your body, soul, and spirit for a frequency you could not have carried before. This is why September has felt so heavy. It was not punishment, it was preparation. Now, on this final day, heaven closes the cycle. And when heaven closes something, no force can pry it open again. That is why certain doors suddenly shut without explanation. Relationships fade, opportunities dissolve. Paths you once thought were secure suddenly break apart. It is not chaos, it is closure. Heaven will not allow you to carry forward what does not belong to your future. And I ask you, how many times have you tried to keep open what heaven has already sealed? How many times have you fought to hold on to something long after its time expired? That struggle always leads to frustration because you cannot resist divine closure. When heaven closes, it is final. The only question is whether you will resist or release. Closure is not loss, it is mercy. It protects you from dragging yesterday into tomorrow. It saves you from repeating patterns that no longer fit who you are becoming. It shields you from cycles of delay, from distractions that would scatter your energy, from connections that cannot endure where you are going. What feels like loss is actually preservation. Heaven closes doors not to take from you, but to prepare you for what must come. Many chosen confuse closure with failure. They think, if it ended, I must have done something wrong. But closure is proof of completion. It means you fulfilled what you were meant to in that season. You learned, you endured, you matured, and now the purpose of that cycle is fulfilled. Holding on to what is finished is the true failure, because it keeps you from stepping into what is waiting. September 30th is heaven's seal on this month. It is the final mark that declares the work of this cycle is done. You may feel endings around you, friendships shifting, habits losing their grip, old identities no longer fitting. That is not a mistake. It is the echo of closure. You are being asked to acknowledge it, to bless what was, and to release it with gratitude. This is the beauty of cycles. Every ending is a beginning in disguise. When heaven closes one door, it simultaneously prepares another to open. But you cannot enter the new if you cling to the old. September's closure is October's foundation. The strength you gained, the lessons you absorbed, the tests you endured, all of it becomes the platform on which the next season will be built. Chosen one, do not fear closure. Do not resist it. See it as the hand of heaven protecting you, guiding you, shaping you. On this last day of September, the cycle is closing and the seal is being placed. Lift your eyes. Do not look back at what is ending. Look forward to what is about to begin. Chosen one, September 30th is not just a closing. It is a portal. A portal is not a door made of stone or wood, but a divine threshold, an invisible gate in the spiritual realm where one season ends and another begins. These portals are rare, but when they open, everything in creation seems to recognize them. The body feels it. The soul stirs. The spirit awakens. Today, you stand before such a portal. The crossing between the old and the new. But what is the old? The old is everything that no longer carries life for you. It is the cycle that has already completed its purpose. It is the pain you've carried for too long. The patterns that drained your strength. The distractions that kept you small. The old is heavy. It weighs down your spirit and keeps your eyes locked on what was instead of what is becoming. And the portal of September 30th declares, the old cannot cross with you. And what is the new? The new is the promise waiting on the other side. It is the clarity you've prayed for, the freedom you've longed for, the opportunities prepared but not yet revealed. The new carries freshness, vitality, expansion. It is lighter, stronger, sharper. But the new cannot mix with the old. It requires space, surrender, and the willingness to step forward without the baggage of yesterday. This is why the last day of September feels so intense. The portal is demanding a choice. You cannot drift across absent-mindedly. You must decide. Will you cross with the burdens of September still clinging to you, or will you release them at the gate? Heaven will not force your hand. The portal opens, but it is your decision to let go and step through. And I ask you, what have you been holding on to that you know cannot follow you into October? Is it a relationship that has already run its course? Is it an identity that no longer reflects who you are becoming? Is it fear, doubt, or shame that has overstayed its welcome? The portal is asking you to decide today. The crossing cannot happen half-heartedly. Perhaps you've noticed unusual patterns in these final days. Old wounds resurfacing, certain people reaching out again, situations that look like a repeat of the past. This is not coincidence. The portal mirrors back to you what must be closed. It brings the old to the surface one last time, not to torment you, but to give you the chance to release it once and for all. This is the mystery of portals. They are both exits and entrances. You are not only walking away from something, you are stepping into something greater. When you cross, you are elevated. The atmosphere changes. The inner weight lifts. What seemed cloudy becomes clear. What felt impossible suddenly feels within reach. This is why portals are so sacred. They do not just end cycles, they transport you into a higher state of alignment. Chosen one, The portal of September 30th is open now. The old and the new stand before you, but they cannot travel together. One must stay behind. One must be chosen. If you cling to the old, you will drag unnecessary weight into October. But if you release it here, if you choose with courage, you will step into the new with freedom and clarity. This is the essence of today's mystery. Heaven has placed you at the threshold, but only you can decide to walk through. Lift your head, steady your heart, and declare, I leave the old. I embrace the new. I cross the portal. What must be left behind? Chosen one, every portal requires surrender. You cannot cross into the new season while clutching the remnants of the old. September 30th is not just an invitation to step forward. It is a command to let go. Before you cross into October, you must ask yourself, what must I release? What cannot follow me into the next chapter? The first thing you must leave behind is resentment and unforgiveness. Nothing poisons the journey of the chosen more than a heart chained to bitterness. Forgiveness is not about excusing those who hurt you. It is about setting yourself free from the weight of their imprint. If you carry resentment into October, it will cloud your vision and distort your spirit. The portal is asking you to drop this burden. To forgive is not weakness, it is alignment. It is releasing the old so the new can finally enter. The second is draining habits and cycles. There are behaviors, patterns, and distractions that you've tolerated for too long. They may have offered comfort in one season, but now they suffocate. Late-night thoughts that spiral into fear, routines that rob your energy, voices that discourage rather than build. All of these must be left behind. What served yesterday cannot anchor tomorrow. The third is self-defeating narratives. How many times have you labeled yourself with failure? How often have you said, I am not enough, or I will never change? These voices are not truth. They are remnants of an expired season. The portal will not carry your old identity into October. You must choose to silence those narratives now and declare who you truly are. Chosen, marked, called, and prepared. And I ask you, what are you still gripping with trembling hands, even though you know it no longer serves you? What fear keeps you tied to the old? Many hold on to pain because it is familiar, and the unfamiliar feels threatening. But the truth is, the portal demands space. The unfamiliar is where the promise lives. Another weight that must be left behind is comparison. Perhaps you have looked at others and thought, they are further ahead than I am. They are stronger. They are more prepared. But heaven did not call you to walk another's journey. Comparison blinds you to your unique rhythm, your personal alignment, your divine timing. The portal of September 30th demands that you release this lie and trust the specific path heaven has written for you. Finally, you may need to leave behind relationships and connections that cannot continue. This does not mean hatred or dishonor. It means recognizing completion. Some people were meant for a season, not a lifetime. Some connections carried you through September, but cannot survive the frequency of October. To cling to them is to resist the flow. Release them with gratitude and allow the portal to close that chapter fully. Chosen one, letting go is never easy. It feels like death to parts of yourself. But remember, every release is also a rebirth. Every surrender makes space for expansion. What you leave behind at this threshold will not be lost. It will be transformed. Today, September 30th, the portal stands before you like a gate of fire. Only what is pure can cross through. Bitterness, fear, false identities, and unnecessary weights will not survive the flames. You must drop them here, now. Declare it with boldness. I release what no longer serves me. I forgive, I surrender, I silence old voices. I let go of what cannot continue. I am free to cross. This is not just release, it is prophecy. Because once spoken, heaven responds. The moment you let go, the portal will carry you forward with a strength you did not know you had. Oh, chosen one, every portal demands readiness. Heaven never opens such a threshold without first marking those who are prepared to cross. And while you may doubt yourself, wondering, am I really ready? Am I strong enough to step into the new? The signs of readiness are already alive within you. You only need to recognize them. The first sign is heightened sensitivity. In these past days, perhaps you've felt emotions rise suddenly, dreams grow vivid, or physical sensations stir without reason. Maybe your heart has raced at unexpected moments, or you've felt chills when nothing external caused them. This is not weakness or imagination. It is alignment. Your body, soul, and spirit are already vibrating with the frequency of the portal. Sensitivity is not fragility. It is proof that heaven has tuned you to hear what others cannot. The second sign is weariness that does not break you. Many chosen ones have felt an unusual exhaustion this month. Yet beneath the tiredness, there remains a flame that refuses to die. Even when you've said, I cannot go on, something inside of you has whispered, but I must. That persistence, even in weakness, is readiness. Because what carries you now is not human strength, but divine sustenance. The chosen are never measured by how little they feel fatigue, but by how they endure despite it. The third sign is natural detachment. Suddenly, things that once consumed your focus no longer matter. Situations that used to trigger you feel distant. Attachments that drained your energy are losing their hold. This is not apathy, it is preparation. Heaven is lightening your load so you can cross the portal unhindered. Detachment is a sign that you no longer resonate with the frequency of the old, because you are being drawn into the new. The fourth sign is sudden clarity. Even amidst the heaviness of September, you may have noticed flashes of understanding, sudden insights, or decisions becoming easier. Problems that once felt tangled are revealing simple solutions. This clarity is not from your mind alone. It is from heaven. It means your spirit is aligned with divine direction, and your mind is beginning to follow. Clarity is always a sign that the portal is near. And I ask you, have you dismissed these signs as random? Have you tried to explain them away as stress, coincidence, or imagination? Because if you look deeper, you'll see they are confirmations that you are ready. Another sign is the hunger for change. You feel restless, unable to remain where you are. There is an inner cry for more, an impatience with the old ways. This hunger is holy. It is heaven's way of pulling you toward the portal, creating dissatisfaction with anything less than your calling. There is also collective confirmation. As you listen to others, You hear them describing what you yourself have experienced. The exhaustion, the dreams, the heightened emotion, the clarity, these are being echoed in the lives of other chosen ones. That harmony is not coincidence. It is proof of a corporate movement. Heaven does not prepare one. It prepares many. Chosen one, the signs are not subtle. They are loud and clear. Your body, your soul, and your spirit are already testifying that you are aligned. Readiness is not perfection. Readiness is recognition. It is saying, yes, I see the signs. I may feel weak, but I know I am aligned. I am ready. So do not question yourself any longer. Do not wonder if you missed it. If your spirit resonates with these words, if your life has mirrored these signs, then you are already prepared. Today, as the portal of September 30th opens, declare it boldly, I see the signs. I am ready. I cross, because readiness is not about having all the answers. It is about carrying the fire that says, even if I do not know what awaits, I know I am called to step through. And that fire is alive in you right now. Chosen one of the clearest proofs that September 30th is more than just a date is this. The signs have not been given to you alone. They are being felt by many, across nations, languages, and cultures. This is not an isolated awakening. It is a collective movement. What you have sensed in your body, soul, and spirit is being mirrored in the lives of countless other chosen ones. That is the evidence of a corporate decree. Heaven has moved, not just for one, but for a generation. Perhaps you've already noticed it. In conversations, in testimonies, even in small comments online, others are describing the very things you've been experiencing. The exhaustion with no explanation, the vivid dreams, the sudden emotions, the flashes of clarity, the sense of being pulled towards something bigger. These shared experiences are not accidents. They are proof that a spiritual wave has swept across the chosen, marking all of them together. This is the mystery of the collective. When heaven shifts, it does not just mark individuals. It marks an entire body. Each chosen one may feel the weight in their own way, but together they resonate as one. It is like many instruments playing the same note, different sounds, but the same frequency. And when that resonance happens, the impact shakes the unseen realm. And I ask you, have you realized that you are not walking this alone? That while you wrestled with sleepless nights or unexpected tears, others were doing the same at the very same moment? This is not coincidence. It is design. Heaven has synchronized the chosen, aligning them as one movement, one army, one sound. This is also why the resistance has been so heavy. The enemy is not afraid of a single flame, but of a wildfire. He fears what happens when many chosen rise together, strengthened by the same activation. So he attacks collectively, waves of distraction, waves of discouragement, cycles of heaviness, spread across many lives. But his resistance is proof of the collective release. The more widespread the battle, the greater the confirmation that heaven has already moved in unity. Another fruit of this collective impact is recognition. In the coming days, you may notice connections that feel strangely familiar. You will meet people who feel like you've known them forever, even though you've only just crossed paths. Conversations will carry unusual depth, as if guided. This is the chosen recognizing each other by spirit, not by flesh. The portal has aligned frequencies, and now chosen ones are able to discern one another like never before. There is also power in knowing that no one crosses the portal alone. Even those who feel weak, confused, or uncertain are being carried by the current of the collective. Heaven has woven an invisible net, ensuring that no chosen is left behind. Some may walk boldly, others may stumble forward, but all are being drawn through the same passage. The September 30th portal is not just a personal threshold, it is a generational one. It marks the end of an old frequency for the chosen as a whole and the beginning of something unprecedented. The signs in your life are not only for your encouragement, but also for your confirmation that you belong to this greater body. Chosen one, lift your eyes. See the bigger picture. You are part of a tapestry far larger than your individual story. When you declare, "I cross the portal," you are not just aligning yourself. You are joining a chorus of voices across the world, echoing the same decree. And that unity is unstoppable. This is the collective impact of the chosen. Many lives, many stories, one movement. September ends, the portal opens, and together we step into the new. Chosen one, every portal requires a seal. It is not enough to sense the signs, to recognize the closure of cycles, or even to feel the pull of the new. There must be a decree, a declaration that marks the crossing. Words are not empty here, they are keys. What you speak on September the 30th will echo through October. That is why the decree matters. The decree is simple, but it shakes the unseen world. I cross the portal. These words, when spoken with faith, break chains, silence the accusations of the past, and align you with the frequency of the future. This declaration is more than a phrase, it is a weapon. It tells heaven that you are willing, and it tells the enemy that you cannot be stopped. Crossing the portal does not mean life will suddenly be free of battles. It means you now walk under a different weight, a new atmosphere. The struggles of September do not define you anymore. October will carry its own challenges, but you will face them with a spirit refreshed, realigned, and anchored by this decree. And I ask you, are you willing to declare it boldly, even if you still feel weak? Because the decree is not about how strong you feel, it is about your alignment with heaven. Even whispered through trembling lips, "I cross the portal," carries authority in the unseen realm. It is the act of sealing your passage into the next chapter. This decree also defines identity. To say, "I cross the portal," is to declare that you are not a victim of cycles, but a chosen one who transcends them. It is to refuse the weight of yesterday and step into the promise of tomorrow. It is to accept that you are marked, called, and strengthened beyond what you can see. It is not resignation. It is affirmation. The decree multiplies in power when spoken collectively. Imagine countless chosen across the earth speaking the same words on this day. Different voices, different languages, but one decree: I cross the portal. The sound of it shakes the spiritual atmosphere, uniting destinies, amplifying faith, and releasing a wave that no resistance can withstand. You are not alone when you declare it. You are part of a worldwide chorus. And this is the secret. What you declare today will shape the month to come. If you speak doubt, you carry doubt. If you speak faith, you carry faith. The decree is the seed, and October will be the harvest. That is why you cannot stay silent. The portal must be sealed with words, and those words must align with heaven's decree. So today, on September the 30th, let your voice rise. Say it once, say it again, let it sink into your soul until it becomes truth. I cross the portal. I leave behind the old. I embrace the new. I step into October, aligned and ready. Speak it until the atmosphere around you shifts. Speak it until your heart believes it fully. Speak it until you know that nothing can drag you back. Chosen one, this is the final act. The portal has been opened, the cycle has been closed, and the decision is yours. Step forward, not in fear, but in faith. Release the decree, seal your crossing, and walk into October with the authority of one who knows, I crossed and I will not return. This is the decree of September the 30th. This is the mark of the chosen. This is your seal. I cross the portal.